Elira had not smiled in months, not since her mother passed away during the last winter storm. The once lively mountain village where she lived felt as cold and empty as her heart. She went through her days quietly, doing her chores, walking the same forest path to school, sitting silently in class, then returning home to a small house filled with silence. Her father tried his best, but grief had wrapped its heavy arms around both of them. One spring morning, a traveler came into the village. He was old, with a long silver beard and eyes that shimmered like sunlight on water. He told stories in the village square in exchange for warm meals and a place to rest. Curious, Elira stood at the edge of the crowd, listening. "Far beyond the hills," the old man said, "there is a lantern that glows only when the heart is light. It's called the Lantern of Joy. Many have searched for it, but only those who carry joy within them can truly see its light." The story stayed with Elira. That night, she asked her father, "Do you think the lantern is real?" He looked at her gently. "I think the joy it speaks of is, whether it's in a lantern or in you." For the first time in months, Elira felt something stir in her chest. She made a decision. She would search for the lantern. With her father's blessing, a small backpack of food, and a notebook, Elira set off the next morning. Her first stop was the village of Windgrove. There she met a baker named Mara, who laughed even when her bread burned. "Why are you so happy?" Elira asked. Mara smiled. "I'm not always happy, child, but I find joy in little things, like the way warm dough feels in my hands, or when someone says my pastries remind them of home." Elira helped her for a day, kneading dough and delivering loaves. That night she wrote in her notebook, "Joy can be found in small, simple things." As she left, Mara handed her a tiny wooden charm in the shape of a loaf. "To remind you to notice the little joys," she said. Next, Elira came to a town where children played near a dusty road. One boy had only one leg but was the fastest on crutches. His name was Nico. He raced her, told jokes, and showed her how to skip stones. "How do you stay so cheerful?" she asked. "My mom says we can't always choose what happens, but we can choose how we see it," he said, grinning. That night, Elira looked up at the stars and realized they were the same stars she saw from her village. But here, they seemed brighter. Maybe it was her heart changing. She wrote, "Joy can be a choice." Further along her journey, Elira met an old woman named Anya, who lived alone in a cottage filled with flowers. Anya had lost her family long ago, but tended to her garden every day with love. "Doesn't it hurt to be alone?" Elira asked. "Sometimes," Anya replied, "but tending to life brings joy. And the birds, the bees, they keep me company." Elira stayed and helped weed the garden, learning the names of flowers and planting new seeds. Before she left, Anya gave her a pressed daisy. Elira added it to her growing collection. In each village, town, and path she walked, Elira collected moments, stories, and tiny tokens, symbols of joy. A laugh shared, a song sung by a river, a child's drawing, a thank you hug from a stranger. Weeks passed. Her backpack was heavier, not with burdens, but with pieces of joy. And she was changing. Her smile returned, slowly, shyly, then fully. One misty morning, she climbed the final hill the old traveler had spoken of. There, in a quiet clearing, stood a small lantern on a stone pedestal. It looked ordinary, made of bronze, a bit worn, but when she stepped close, it flickered. Elira held her breath. She took out her notebook, the tokens and memories she'd gathered. She read the words she had written. "Joy is in small things. Joy is a choice. Joy is in life itself." The lantern pulsed gently with warm light. And then she understood. The lantern didn't hold joy. She did. It glowed not because it was magical, but because she had changed. Her journey had led her not to the lantern, but back to her own heart. Elira sat by the lantern for a long time, letting its light warm her face. She thought of her mother, of her village, of the people she had met, of the laughter, the tears, the growth. When she returned home, her father saw it immediately, the brightness in her eyes, the ease in her step, the peaceful joy that surrounded her like sunlight. "Did you find it?" he asked. "I did," she said, "but more than that, I found myself." From then on, Elira lived differently. She still missed her mother, still had hard days, but she also found joy in baking bread, telling stories to the children, planting flowers, and helping others see their own light. And on quiet nights when the wind was soft and the stars blinked gently above, Elira would light a small lantern by her window, not to chase away the dark, but to remind herself and everyone who saw it that joy is always within our